Garrus, I love it when you talk like that. Tell me how you pop the heatsink. Wow. This is awkward. Okay, it's not really that awkward. This is what I do in my spare time. Hey YouTube! Some of you may have guessed that I am a gigantic Mass Effect fan. Like a lot. Look at this. Look at this. I drew this, actually. This is me. And we got this. This right here. This is real. So nerds, let's talk about Mass Effect and books. My two favorite things. Ready, Garrus? Garrus is ready. I have created, for you all, the Mass Effect book tag. I have no idea if other such book tags exist. I did a very, very half-assed attempt to find out. I didn't find anything in that limited amount of research. However, I feel fairly certain that my book tag will differ enough from any other existing Mass Effect book tags that nobody's toes will feel stepped on. If there is somebody out there who's already done this, and they find this, and they're super mad at me, too bad. Just eliminate that Mass Effect field around your heart and let it grow. So nerds, let's get down to the nitty-gritty. Anybody who wants to do this tag, absolutely feel free. I'll put it in the doobly-doo. Also, this is just my book tag with the stuff about Mass Effect that I really care about and the characters that I really love. If you have ideas for adding or including different things in your version of this tag, don't feel like you have to adhere strictly to this tag. You can modify it if you feel like it, or you can use this exact one. It is completely up to you. There are no rules in space. But I really hope that I see your answers to these because it'd be so cool. I need to find as many Mass Effect fans as I can and make friends with them all. So, my first question. Commander Shepard. Your favorite hero who has seen some shit. A hero who's been through a lot, a hero who has faced it all. For this one, I chose Jet Jones, who is a character from the graphic novel series Rust, which I will have a review of if I don't have it up already, which I don't think I will. I will have it up soon, and it's super exciting, and Jet Jones has seen some shit. He was in a war, stuff happened to him. Number 2 is Mordin Solus, your favorite morally gray character. I decided for this list that I will allow myself to use plays. I don't always use plays because I don't usually read them, I'm usually in them. But I do have to read them to memorize my lines, so there you go. For this I chose the character of Sideway from the play Our Country's Good, which is about the first penal colony on Australia. Sideway is a gentleman thief. He's kind of got questionable morals, but he's overall a charming and endearing character who I enjoy. And he definitely operates in that world of moral grayness. Number 3 is Liara, your favorite LGBTQ plus characters in a book. And I had such a hard time thinking of them, and even in the end I couldn't remember their names, and I tried to find their names and I couldn't find their names. And eventually I gave up because I was tired. I was sleepy when I wrote this list, and so some of my answers are like, ugh. There are 2 characters from the Becca Cooper series who you have heard me rave about before. These characters are in the second book, Bloodhound, and they are a couple, and they are a man who is gay and his lover who is trans. And they are delightful, both of them, and I would definitely recommend checking them out because it's a really interesting look at a trans character and a gay character and their relationship and how they're treated. It's just really cool. Number 4 is Garrus, your favorite character who is deeply loyal. I thought about this for like 2 seconds and I knew it had to be Sam from The Lord of the Rings. He pops into your head immediately. You do not get more loyal than Sam. It's impossible. Hufflepuff, through and through, Samwise Gamgee. Number 5 is Grunt, a character you want to care for as your child. I had a couple of answers for this one. One of them is a character named Matt from a book called The Rules of Survival. It's a really cool book about children dealing with their abusive parent and trying to get out of that situation. And I really related with Matt, and I also really wanted to just take him away from that and just hold him to me and be his mother, a better mother than the mother that he had. And I also cheated a little bit with this one. And I chose Cole from Dragon Age Asunder, even though I mostly know Cole from the game Dragon Age Inquisition. He is in Asunder, so I'm cheating that way, and boy does he trigger any latent mommy instincts that I may have somehow maintained, even though I am a cold, heartless, cruel being. Cole triggers every single one. Every single one. He is a precious cinnamon roll, too pure for this world. I love him. He is my baby. Number 6 is the Reapers. Your favorite looming threat or all-powerful bad guy. I'm talking about a bad guy who you don't really see, but they're built up, and boy do they sound scary, and you really are not looking forward to having to deal with them. I'm talking about a bad guy who's super powerful, and you don't know how the characters are going to defeat them. For this one, I chose Janula from Shadowscale, because even though I wasn't terribly impressed with Shadowscale, links to that review in the doobly-doo if I remember to put it there, I loved Janula, and some of the scenes where she was just doing her thing, I was like laughing in this sort of evil glee, because I was like, oh dear. Janula has this power over people's minds, and at one point the main character allows Janula into her consciousness, and I was like, you have just allowed a psychopath into your brain. Let's just watch the chaos, shall we? Number 7 is the Illusive Man, a bad guy you love to hate. For this I chose Ames from the book Saint Anything. I haven't really talked about reading this one, but every once in a very long time I'm in the mood for something contemporary and even a little bit romancy, although this wasn't completely focused on the romance. I quite enjoyed Saint Anything, and one of the reasons I did was because of Ames. I loved to hate him. He was so creepy. He was that guy, you know, that guy who just creeps you out, and he's just a little too possessive, and he's just a little too always there, and you're like, you know, your instinct knows that he is bad news, but you really, like, can't prove it. You just instinctually know. And that was Ames, and that was amazing. I loved to hate him. I loved every scene he was in so I could hate him. Number 8 is the Normandy, a book that feels like home. For this I had to go with The Hobbit, of course. It's a book that I have loved to read and loved to reread, and it's the comfort food of books for me. It's the warm tea next to the fire on a cold winter night. That book is my home. Number 9, Biotics, your favorite magical powers or abilities in a book. Oh my gosh, there are like so many, but so many of them that I have read recently are really problematic. They bother me because they are inconsistent, or the powers or abilities just do whatever the characters need them to when they need them to do it. So I had to think back a little bit, and a while back I read the Emperor Mage series by Tamara Pierce. In case you haven't noticed, I'm a giant Tamara Pierce fangirl. And in the Emperor Mage series, the main character can talk to animals. And who doesn't want that ability? No one. Everyone wants that ability, at least a little bit. You know you do. And so I decided that I think will be my favorite magical ability for this list. Number 10 is Aria, a book that nobody fucks with. This is the book that you really can't handle people criticizing. You may know that there are flaws in it, but you just avoid seeing criticism of it. That book would be mine. No, that's not true. I'm fine if people want to criticize my book. It's called Phoenix. It's for sale on Amazon. Links in the doobly-doo, by the way. See what I did there? Honestly, I don't really have a book that I can't stand to see somebody criticize. I know that some people probably do, but I am a firm believer that every book deserves criticism. No book is perfect, and I also am a gigantic critic, and so I will criticize anything, really. Very critical person. No wonder I don't have very many friends. And 11 is I Should Go, your favorite ending to a story or series, whatever. I had a really hard time picking this one, and I'm probably not going to be happy with my answer because there are so many great endings and so many great stories. But I decided to go with the ending of Speak, which some of you know is one of my favorite books. And it is because it is satisfying, it is because there's a lot of character growth throughout that book, and it all culminates at the end. It is because the character who has been downtrodden has a great moment of victory. And it's because it's not all wrapped up in a neat little package, but you can see that there is hope for growth and the future. That is why I love that ending. And that is my Mass Effect book tag. Woo! So I encourage you all to do it. I tag you all. If you love Mass Effect, please do the tag. I want to see it, so like comment with links to it below. I'm just so excited to see what all of you have to say and find out where my other Mass Effect reading fans is at. Yo. Also, hey, if you just wandered on here and you're new to the area, feel free to wander around the channel at your leisure, see what's cooking. Maybe stop by and just tappy on that subscribe button if you want to see more of this all the time. Also, if you just cannot get enough Mass Effect in your life, I have an AO3 that is swimming with Mass Effect fanfiction that I have written, including a novella-length story called After the Fall, which you should definitely check out. And if you don't want to read, I read it to you right here on YouTube. So if you want my sultry voice reading you my fanfiction, which you definitely do, go check that out. Links below. Hot damn, it's getting Mass Effect in here. I should go.